So what happened is I caught a swarm. Actually, this hive swarmed, and I captured them. And I put them in another box. But it turns out I only currently have 4 boxes available. So I had 3 boxes on this hive, 1 box for the other hive, and I wanted to give the other hive some space. And I also wanted to remove some space from this because they swarmed. And as you can see, I'm doing an inspection here. Some of the frames were still empty. So I don't think they need all these 3 boxes. I think they'll do fine with 2 boxes. So what I'm doing here is just going through these frames on top of the super bee bread. That's cool. They could do something with that. I'm not going to disturb that. We'll leave that in there. Another one, some bee bread, a little bit of capped honey on some of these, but not a whole lot going on here, which is fine. I don't want there to be. I want to be able to take off this super without any problem. And right now, the flow's not really super strong. It had been, a few weeks ago, a month ago, and they were bringing stuff in left and right. But I've been watching them lately, and they haven't really been bringing in a lot. And since they swarmed, there's less of them to bring in anything. So I think the 2 boxes, and if I clear off some space. Now, look, I'm going to keep a couple of these because I got to keep some for me because I'm greedy like that. No, to make space for the blank one. So here's this box, is super coming off, and that's the box I'm going to go put on the new hive. Now this is the second box on the old hive, and I just wanted to look through here and see what was going on. And there's some good stuff going on here. There's a little bit of capped honey here. On the back looks a lot nicer. And they're still working on a lot of this too. So I'm not going to disturb too much of it, but if I come across 1 or 2 that look pretty good, I can keep, I'm going to keep them. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm kind of doing a little inspection, like, hey, I could probably keep that one. So I'm going to put that one in there. Altogether, I think I'm going to take 3 frames, and then I'm going to fill it up with blank frames. So they're going to have 2 boxes, and there's going to be plenty of space for them to continue on these frames, which aren't full, with the honey on them, and then the blank frames, which obviously are blank, so that'll give them a little space as well. So we're just going to go through the rest of this. I just want to check everything, see what's going on. There was a little bit of space between the frames, which I don't like. I don't like about these 8-frame boxes. It seems like they don't fit right, and there's always a little space. So like right here, you can see that they're sticking together. But anyway, I'm going to give them some bigger frames that are blank in here, and then I'm going to seal this box up and this hive, and I'll be done with it for now. Put my hive traps back, keep the hive beetles at bay, put the top on, and seal this up. Next, I'm going to grab those blank frames for the super. Unfortunately, I only have 2 supers, so that's what we're going to deal with for now. And I'm going to just fill it up with some blank frames here for the new hive, this guy right here. So 1 little box, and I'm going to open it up. This is a mess. I actually only put in 6 frames in this 8-frame box by mistake. I think when I was trying to capture the bees, I wasn't thinking it through. And when I go to take the top off, you're going to see there's some hive just kind of hanging down. But I'm going to take care of that. I'll show you that later. So anyway, this is pretty simple. Here, I'm just going to go in, put the new empty frame up on top of that, and then we're done with these guys right here. The hardest part is getting the box on, squishing too many of them. I don't want to squish my bees, and I'm trying to brush them off and stuff like that. And they're more coming out as I'm doing it because they're kind of unhappy that I opened up their whole box, I guess. But I'm going to get the top on. Now this guy's got 2 boxes. The other hive's got 2 boxes. Everyone's happy, right? Got plenty of room. Keep you happy for another month. So we'll see what happens. I also just got registered. Very exciting. I got my registration numbers, which I got to go right on there. I'm having a bee inspection in about a week. So that's interesting. In Florida, you have to have your hives inspected. So I'm going to have my hives inspected. I've registered them, I have my number, and I'm going to have someone come out and do an inspection. So here I was like, I got just a little bit, but I'm like, I can get a couple of jars of honey out of this here and there. I'll take a couple of jars. There's plenty of stuff left in the boxes outside. I wasn't worried about that. So since it's only 2 or 3 frames, all I'm doing is just cutting it open like this, and I'm going to let it drip down in that bucket overnight. Now remember I said there was space between the frames? Well, they made some beehive that wasn't attached to anything, which is kind of cool because I actually like eating a honeycomb like this. So I'm just like going to put it in a little container and slap a top on that, and now I've got some honeycomb to eat with the comb. I think that's pretty sweet because it's honey. So I let it drain all night, and now I pour it into a funnel here, a cauldron with some cheesecloth into another pot. And the idea is here, I'm going to let that sit overnight, which I did. Now this is the next day, and all the honey went through the cheesecloth where the wax stayed up on top. I popped the cauldron off, and I look inside my bucket, and look, nothing but honey, sweet honey. So nice dark amber honey. Very happy with the color. Really kind of Really nice looking. Look at, I don't know if you can tell how rich it looks to me, but very good. Some of the earlier honey I got in the season was much lighter, and this is a lot richer. So I guess maybe it's the pollen, or I don't know. I'm sure it has something to do with the pollen because that's how the color is formed, but I'm not sure. My knowledge of native Florida plants I'm still learning it. I haven't been here that long. So seal that up. I'm going to get about 4 jars out of it, and I'm going to get every last little licking jar. I got my little spoon here. I'm going to keep scraping it out. And when I can't scrape any more out of the pot, I'm just going to let it drip off the spoon. I'm going to fill my jars. So there you go. 2 hives, and that's where we're at right now with our bees. Yeah, hey, want some honey? It's pretty good. Get your tea ready.